Washington is a hot mess, like dumpster juice. It is a bad look for everybody. Looks like they are taking shots of hot dog water. It is no good, right? But here are the top 5 waiver wire targets you need to focus on for week 5 of the NBA season. Bilal Coulibaly. Bilal Coulibaly is just rostered in 6.9% of ESPN leagues, 26% of Yahoo leagues, and he is averaging over the last 7 days 31.5 minutes per game, 11.5 points, 6.3 rebounds, 3 assists, and check this out, 1.8 steals per game. He's also chipping in about 0.8 blocks per game. So listen, Washington is a hot mess, like dumpster juice. It is a bad look for everybody. Looks like they are taking shots of hot dog water. It is no good, right? But the highlight in all of that, but despite Jordan Poole stinking up the joint, worried about Instagram models, right? We got this young man, Bilal Coulibaly. So if he's on your waiver wire, go out there and grab him now and just ride it out for a couple of weeks. If you are in a dynasty league, you need to prioritize picking up this young man if he's still available on your waivers. Like leaving him over there to let somebody else grab him, like you're literally neglecting your fantasy team's future. And where they do that at? We don't do that here. If you're watching this video, listening to the sound of my voice on a podcast, you know that we're about getting championships. So if you want a player on your team that could potentially lead to that championship, grab yourself some Bilal Coulibaly. Next up, we got my man, Keontae George. Keontae George is on fire, y'all. I had the first time to really watch a full game, and he's available in so many leagues. On ESPN, he's only rostered in 6.8% of their leagues. On Yahoo, he's rostered in only 37% of their leagues. Over the last 7 days, he's averaged 27.5 minutes per game, 15 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. He's also pitched in 1 steal per game. So I saw his stats. I read about him. I maybe saw some of his highlights, but I watched a full game for the first time last week, y'all. Listen, the young man plays with determination. He plays with grit. I mean, he was super aggressive. And with a rookie guard, you have to expect that you're going to have some issues with turnovers, maybe even with the field goal percentage, right? So it's something that you have to take into consideration if you have him on your roster. And I would say, just like with Bilal Coulibaly, if you have the opportunity to roster this young man in Dynasty, you got to leap at the opportunity because his value is only going to rise. So get in on it while it's affordable, because if you wait too long, you won't have access to what could be a league-winning type player. From the Golden State Warriors, my man, Dario Saric. He's only rostered in 8.1% of ESPN leagues, 26% of Yahoo leagues. Over the last 7 days, he's averaged 25.3 minutes per game, 12.5 points per game, 6.3 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. He's also added 1 steal per game. So Super Dario is not my favorite waiver wire guy, right? He's the type of guy who's taking advantage of Draymond Green pretending to be Macho Man Savage, pretending to be Ted DiBiase, putting Rudy Gobert in the $1 Million Dream. It's wild, y'all. Like Draymond Green, and I'm going to go on a quick Draymond Green rant, right? In this Dario Saric little, pitch. So I like Draymond Green. I'll start by saying that. I think that he is one of the pioneers for NBA players who are moving into media, creating the new media, but also active players who are like creating platforms for themselves. I think it's huge, right? And I love that he's doing that to make sure that NBA players, after they finish their playing days, they have another career that's already built up for them, or a brand that they've already built. I think that's great. when it comes to the antics, like you can be an enforcer, right? Dennis Rodman was an enforcer. I get it. But like, yo, man, it's like every other year he's doing something wild. Like first he's like punching LeBron in the nards. Come on, man. Where they do that at? Then next thing you know, he's stomping on Sabonis balls. Come on, man. Like he's stomping. Like what are we doing? Like, is this a Kirk Franklin song? Like, what are you doing? Why are you stomping on this man's testicles? Like, it's not okay. You know what I'm saying? And then we got Jordan Poole getting snuffed. Like he's punching his teammates. And now this. Now we doing full on WWE. We putting people in a full Nelson, lifting them up. Your man Rudy Gobert had his arms up like this. Like, chill, Draymond. You got it, bro. You got it, bro. He's like, nah, man. I've been waiting for this. Like, I've been waiting for this. Like, come on, man. We got to do better. As a people, we got to do better. But let me bring it back to Dario. With Draymond out, there's going to be some opportunity for Dario. But this is what I want to say. If he has a couple of duds in a row, or even a dud, I think his last game he didn't play too well. It's okay to drop him. Like, he is not like the other guys that I'm talking about. These young guys, I think they might have some lasting value and might be long-term holds. But for Dario, like if he has a slow night, you can drop him easy. So pay attention to his production so that way you're not wasting a spot thinking he's going to be some long-term hold while Draymond is out. Next up, we got my main man, Skylar Mays. Skylar Mays is just rostered in 12.2% of ESPN leagues. 30.3 minutes per game over the last 7 days, 12.3 points, 3.8 rebounds, 8.5 assists. Yes, 8.5 assists over the last 7 days, 0.8 steals, and a half a block. So for Skylar Mays, he plays in a system in Portland where they have young players. They're just trying to see what they have. So they're not playing for the playoffs, right? They're just trying to give their young players some run to see what they have. Everyone was hyped up about Scoot Henderson, y'all. And many people, before he went down, were disappointed. He might be coming back soon. So Skylar Mays, although he's averaging 30.3 minutes per game in the last 7 days, that could change depending on when Scoot Henderson is coming back. So that's something you want to pay attention to. But in the short term, your man is for real, for real. Like, I've seen what he can do. I had a chance. I just got the league pass recently. Whoop, whoop. So really getting the opportunity to work with NBC Sports is giving me the opportunity to really dig in on some of the games. And I've watched games before, but I wasn't really like having the 4 screens up. Like, I got kids, whatever. Now, like, I got a job doing it. I got to like, hey, baby, I got to watch these 4 games tonight. And I make my moves like that. So I had a chance to see a Portland game the other day. And your man could really, really ball. He has pretty good basketball IQ. He's making really good decisions. He's patient. It's just like the kind of guard that I like to see. So if he's available, I prioritize Bilal Coulibaly and Keontae George over him, but he's kind of in that same category. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that you want to maybe hold on to for a couple of weeks if you can to see what happens, especially if he comes back and they try to let Scoot Henderson coexist with him. And also when Anthony Simons comes back, if he can still carve out 25 minutes, he might be worth holding on to. So I would grab him now and see what happens. Next up, we got Brandon Podziemski, only rostered in 3.1% of ESPN leagues and 13.5% of Yahoo leagues. So Brandon Podziemski is somebody that I was really hyped about when Steph Curry was out. Steph Curry came back, but Steve Kerr is on the record saying that Brandon would still get run like 20-something minutes a game. So he played about 23 or 24 minutes per game with Curry when he returned. So there's a chance he might be able to carve out his own role despite Curry being back. So he's somebody I still want to pay attention to. I had him a little higher before Curry came back, but I would test it out if he's available and you already missed out on Bilal, you missed out on Keontae, you missed out on Skylar Mays. He's somebody that you want to pick up. Some other analysts are prioritizing him a little higher. I don't believe he'll have the same kind of value that he had before Curry returned. However, I do believe he'll have some value. So let's see what it looks like. Pay attention to it. Again, very similar to Saric. If he does not produce a couple games in a row, don't feel bad about dropping him. But for players like Bilal and Keontae, you want to be a little more patient. And as always, I got a couple of bonus waiver wire guys for you. We got Bogdan Bogdanovic, maybe. Sam Hauser, maybe. Duncan Robinson, yes. And Jacob Gilyard, yes.